Hey, this is WhyBeAre with BeamNG.drive, and today we're going to be taking a look at the BKL Claw Tractor. And there's only one configuration option available to us and one color, so there's not much to do in this menu, so let's just go ahead and spawn this thing up and take a look at it. And what we're going to focus on first off is, of course, the claw, because that is the most interesting thing about it. But we're kind of stuck in the ground, so let's go ahead and fix that first, and then we'll take a look at the claw. Come on, get out of the ground. Almost have it. Oh my goodness, my suspension in the front is just exploding outwards, but we actually managed to free ourselves. I'm just going to move it to a little bit more of a wide open area, so maybe like right about here would be a little bit better, just because back there we don't have a lot of room to maneuver. So now, the way you operate the claw is pretty simple actually. You use the parking brake to open the claw, and then when you turn the parking brake off, it closes the claw. To raise and lower the claw, use the blinkers. The right blinker raises it, and the left blinker will lower it. And if it ever seems like the claw is stuck in an up position or a down position, just try resetting the vehicle. I notice sometimes that happens, and I think it usually has to do with when you respawn the car with the blinkers on. It usually seems to act up like that. But if that happens, the easiest solution, just respawn it, and that has fixed it every time for me. Anyways, I'm going to just grab this pigeon, and we're going to put it under the claw, and then we're going to pick it up, hopefully. So we'll just set it like right about there, maybe a little more forward, like there. So we're actually grabbing the cabin. Then we're going to become the tractor. Going to back it up just a bit. Then we're going to lower it. I raised it at first. I meant lower. And then we hold that position. And then we're going to close the claw. And we can grab the pigeon. And then we can lift it up because it's not that heavy of a vehicle. We should be able to lift it. With heavier vehicles, sometimes you'll fall backwards. Pigeon, it's light enough where we can lift it. And then we can maneuver around holding the pigeon. And we're going to try to just dump it in the ocean without falling in the ocean ourselves. That is going to be the goal here. Now, sometimes vehicles do get stuck on the claw, which is a totally likely outcome in this situation, unfortunately, but we'll see what happens. And as you can see right here, the turning radius on a tractor is awful. It's really, really awful. Like I'm trying to maneuver around, and it doesn't really maneuver. It's like we got to keep going and going and going, and eventually we'll get to the location we're trying for. Like, the front suspension is a little wacky. You see it's all jiggling and stuff, but hey, we got it. Like, that's what's important, is we got it. Now we got to somehow maneuver again. Oh my goodness, look at that rear wheel. I have never noticed that it does that. It is not on straight anymore or something. That rear wheel is just screwed up. Okay. We're almost to have it lined up. Alright, I'm going to just take this right here where you're available to put this thing in the water, or able to put this thing in the water from this position. So we're gonna try opening the claw, and just like that, we have dumped the pigeon in the water. What a perfect success, actually. That worked great. And we can take a look at the pigeon, although it's kind of hard to see it down here. We could just move it onto the land so we can actually see it, and the majority of the damage should be from the claw. But we can't really say all of it is because we did drop it into the ocean. So if you really wanted to see how much damage the claw itself does, we're going to need to try to pick it up with the claw and then put it back on the ground. And then we could actually see that. So let's go ahead and try to bring the pigeon over to the claw, and then we'll place it in the claw and see how much damage it truly does. And that means I'm going to have to maneuver the tractor around a bit. Actually, the easiest solution here is probably just drive the tractor forward and then reset it. And then that's the easiest way, because trying to line this thing up is going to be difficult because it's so awful at steering left and right. So just like that, we'll raise up the claw to about there. And we'll put the parking brake on, because I was holding the parking brake down with the controller, which is slightly different. So that way it's always going to be open. We'll just drive the pigeon right under it, just like last time. Put the parking brake on so it doesn't move much. And now we become the claw tractor. We can go ahead and lower the claw, maybe back it up a little bit too to try to line it up better on the vehicle. That's good enough, I guess. It's going to grab it in a little unusual of a way, but I think it'll work. Perfect. So it's definitely going to damage it differently than last time, because it did grab it kind of at an angle, but it looks like it was able to get a good grip on the vehicle. And yep, we have now lifted the vehicle up, and we could drive around with it if we wanted to, but right now I just wanted to see how much damage grabbing it with the claw actually did. So now we're just going to try to drop the vehicle onto the ground, which, there we go. It was a little bit harder than expected, but we managed to make it happen. Now we can take a look at the vehicle, and you can see the roof has been caved in quite a bit, so the claw does have enough strength to cave in the roof of a vehicle. Interestingly enough, though, I somehow managed to leave that door perfectly unharmed. That's kind of funny. And we also got a little bit of squeezing damage over here as well. But again, the door looks almost perfect. I don't know how I managed to do that on both sides. That's kind of funny. I know they're not perfect, but they almost look perfect, you know? As for drivability, though, since all this damage is mostly just to the roof and to the sides and not actually to the parts of the car that actually matters to drivability, you can still drive the cars around usually after you grab them with a claw, even if you do it multiple times. And I think grabbing it multiple times might be pretty fun, so why don't we try doing that? So we'll just bring the car back over to the claw and see if we can get things lined up. Hope the claw didn't fall into the water. Good. Ooh, it almost did. Because I didn't really fully stop it, I don't think. Like, I kind of had a tiny bit of momentum left when I switched vehicles. I wasn't sure if it was going to stop or not. So I'll just put the pigeon right about there. And become the claw again. Whoops. Have the parking brake on in an unusual way. Because there's two ways to do the parking brake. One of them is it's on forever. One it's only when you're holding it. And that's what it was at before. So now we're going to lower the claw. Lower? I thought that was lower. Wait. Claw does not want to lower. Like I said, if that ever happens, the easy solution is just to reset it. Unfortunately, I got to wiggle it forward a bit so that way when I reset it, the claw is not inside of the pigeon, because that would be a huge issue for this test if that was to happen. All right, stop raising the claw. Back it up. Looks like we might want to move the pigeon backwards just a tiny bit. I think the claw shifted while I was respawning it. Okay, and then we're going to lower the claw. And once it's in there, we'll just start grabbing. Just start grabbing like that. We can raise it. And it doesn't seem like it did that much more damage with the other grab. It did actually manage to get the door finally, instead of having it stick up pretty much unharmed. But for the most part, the car looks very similar to the last time I grabbed it. We can try doing this again, just for the heck of it, but I don't know if it'll change the outcome very much. So we'll just back it up a bit and stop right about there. Get the claw, make sure it's operating. It can open, it can close. Can it lower? It cannot lower again. Maybe it's because I switched vehicles with the blinker on. I never thought about that. Maybe that's what's causing it. I don't know exactly what causes it to not operate, unfortunately. I haven't done enough testing on that because I usually just reset it when it did it. Like, I'm not really thinking about what did I just do or anything like that, you know? Anyways, this alignment is getting close, so maybe a little bit more forward, and then we'll just start lowering it and hope it works out. There we go. That's working. That's working. Let it go as low as it possibly can. Really get a good grip on that vehicle. And then grab it. That's a grip. There we go. Raise that thing all the way. And let's just drive around with it some, even though it's kind of awful to drive with the claw tractor. We're going to try it anyways. These front wheels are so bad at steering. Like, this tractor was not made to drive on roads or something, man. I don't know what's up with it, but like, every time I want to move a little bit, it's like, well, let me go forward and reverse 10 times to actually get there, and I'll be there. So if we crash the tractor with a car in it... Oh! I've never done that before! That was actually cool! That's the first time I've been excited in a long time for BeamNG.drive. That was awesome. I don't know how I managed to get the tractor stuck like that, but that was like the perfect storm of things. I somehow got the tractor stuck upright, car was in it, and then it just flung away. That was beautiful. And now we can actually see the damage done to the car. Quite a bit of damage to it. But it should drive. I see no reason why not. Yep, still drives. Does it drive straight though? It doesn't seem like it's going perfectly straight. No, it's pulling to the right real hard. That was cool though. I flung it into the air. I wonder if I could do that again. I want to try that again, so let's see. Reset the pigeon. Oh, pigeon's way back here. I didn't think about that. At least when I reset the claw tractor, it should be in the correct position. So I'll just bring the pigeon over here and reset it real quickly so it's nearby if I need to reset it again. So we'll just put it right about here. Then we're going to reset the claw tractor. Let's back this thing up a little bit too, just because I don't like being right on the edge. You know, I like being kind of in the middle. It makes it feel a little bit safer. So we'll stop this maybe about here. Then we're going to go ahead and lift the claw and open the claw. And we'll wait to about right there. So we'll stop the claw right there. And I'm not going to leave the blinker on when I change vehicles because that might be the cause of some of the times the claw gets frozen. I'm not positive on that. Then we're going to go ahead and line this pigeon up in a slightly different manner. And I should point out, you could use any vehicle here, but the reason I use the pigeon is just because it's such a small vehicle, it's really easy to line it up. So you're not sitting here watching me spend forever trying to line something up. It's just boom, it's lined up because the claw is so much bigger than the pigeon. It's really easy to make it where it'll just be able to wrap around it in a good and interesting way. So I think that's as low as it's going to get. So let's try grabbing it right there. That is on the car. That thing went perfect. You're going to raise it. Come on, raise it. There we go. And we could drive this thing around. And I want to try doing that thing I did last time when we flung it into the air. I have no idea if it'll work twice in a row, but I have to try it. That was so cool the first time. I hope it works the second time. Although I gotta spend forever trying to maneuver. Oh, you suck at going left and right. There we go. Alright, so I just hit this part right here and it did something crazy. Let's see if it happens again. I'm gonna put some slow-mo in it so you can see the car hopefully fling if it does it. But like I said, I don't know if I could ever do that twice. It's not the same. It's not the same crash. Like, it's not gonna fling the car. See, whatever I did that one time, it was just this beautiful miracle that can't be duplicated, unfortunately. It seems like that was great. I mean, you know, with enough tries, I'm sure it'll happen again, but didn't happen that time, so I'm giving up, and I'm also stuck here. So let's reset this, switch it out for a different vehicle. It's a little bit wider. So let's go with the Pessima, and we'll just pick a kind of standard version of it. So maybe let's do the 2.0 manual, and we'll get the color to be champagne, because I'm popping champagne, man. You're right. There we go. That's a hideous color. You call that champagne? What's up with that? Like, you get this amazing sounding color. It's like, that is champagne color. Really? That's totally not what I envisioned when I heard the word champagne. Anyways, we'll reset the claw tractor, and then we're going to back it up once more because I liked having it backed up, and I think I need to totally reset it because the blinker was on when I reset it, which usually means the claw is going to be broken. So we do a full reset right here. Raise the claw, open the claw, and wait for it to get high enough, so we'll stop about there. And then we grab the Pessima, and we're going to do our best to line it up, but you'll see with the wider vehicles, sometimes you just can't get it on the first try. Hopefully I can, and I prove myself wrong, but sometimes it's not easy. So about right there should be good. We'll just move the claw tractor back a bit before we do anything. So parking brake on, claw tractor, back it up a tiny bit, maybe about, oh, see, it's hard to actually be precise with this. I forgot about that. So I think about there is the, well, stop rolling. I need to put manual mode on probably. That'd make it easier. Oh well, we're good now, so it doesn't matter. So lower it, and you can see we're just not getting on both sides of the car. So I wasn't exactly in the correct positioning. We can still try to grab it, but I'm not exactly sure what the outcome here will be. So we'll just try. There we go. We still got the car. It just wasn't as cool as the pigeons where we actually crushed it in the claw. This one is kind of like pinching it. You know, I'm pinching its cheek. I'm like a grandma now. I'll pinch your cheek hard. We can once again try to drive with it, but driving with this is just, oh, awful, awful. Up there goes the mirror. I wonder if I went to an area where I didn't have all these things, these obstacles in the way. How steady is this thing at high speeds? I assume it can't be that steady, right? Whoa! Because it's not even really great at low speeds. Come on, you could do it! Steer left! Nope, ain't happening, ain't happening. So far, the car's staying on, though. I could try to, like, clip the car on a building, maybe, like this. Gotcha. Oh, it stayed on! I didn't stay on! Oh, that did something funky with my suspension right there, the way I got stuck. All right, well, how'd the car do? Is he detached properly? It looks like he detached properly from the crane with no issue. He just wanted to make sure nothing in the crane kind of like held onto the car too hard or anything like that. Interestingly enough, the way the camera is, I can't actually put it into the water from this position. Like, I can't go down lower. It's just, this is as low as it gets. So I can't look at the claw. It's just kind of funny. Like, I want to look at the claw, but I can't. Now I'm sad. So anyways, I think that's enough of doing things here. I'm going to just go ahead and go over to grid map now. I wanted to start here just because it kind of made sense to have a claw to grab cars and port, kind of. Like, sort of. Not really. But I just wanted to start there. Now we're going to go ahead and move over to grid map, though. And now we could actually take a look at the tractor itself. And to be honest, the tractor is kind of just there for the claw, it feels like. Like, it does have a J-beam structure for it. And it works good enough, but it's not going to look really realistic in crashes or anything like that. And the interior is also pretty bare. It's just a static interior, so that means steering wheel, gas pedals, all that don't move. But it at least has an interior camera. But it does have quite a few glitches that you can force to happen. For example, if you hold down the gas and the brakes, the whole rear axle shakes like crazy, and sometimes the wheels will explode and stuff. But if they explode or not seems to be pretty random. It looks like in this situation, it's not going to explode, though. And we can try to do like a suspension test with this, and you see it bounces all over the place when you do something like this. And I've never seen a real tractor do a suspension test like this, but I'm pretty sure it doesn't look exactly like that. And the speed for this thing's actually pretty decent. Like, it can get up to almost 60 miles per hour. And we'll do that and hit a wall, so you can see kind of what it looks like when it crashes, and you'll see it's okay. Like, it's not realistic, but it doesn't glitch out terribly, which is what I would want for this, because like I said, the main appeal is the claw. It's kind of like the tractor is just there for the claw. And after this, I want to hit a car to demonstrate something interesting about this tractor. But first, let's hit that wall. Right there, actually flipped it over. But you can see, it deforms in a way that doesn't glitch out. It's not exactly realistic or anything like that, but it doesn't glitch out too bad. It actually is a little bit of a glitch on what appears to be like the exhaust pipe or something. But aside from that, it's okay for crashing and stuff. But one thing that's interesting about this is how much it actually weighs. If I remember correctly, when I read it on the information about the vehicle, it weighs about 40 tons. That's tons. 40 tons for a tractor with a claw, which is ridiculously heavy. So you might be wondering, well, why is it so heavy? And the answer is probably just because if it's that heavy, you don't have to have like a counterbalance or anything on it to be able to lift up vehicles. You can have it just be the tractor, and it can lift up vehicles without tipping over backwards most of the time. But that's probably why it's so awful at steering. The suspension seems wonky at times, and, well, a lot of other things that are like any kind of issue you have, a lot of it probably could be explained with the fact that the tractor is ridiculously heavy for what it is. Like, a real tractor is nowhere near 40 tons. So to demonstrate this, though, I'm just going to ram the tractor into the T-Series real quickly. So we're just going to kind of line it up about so. Hold the gas pedal down here. Hold the gas pedal down here. And I should actually probably be the T-Series because the tractor really can't steer much. So both of these guys are accelerating. They're probably going to both be going about similar speeds. Yet watch the outcome. It's going to probably surprise you. It doesn't look like this tractor would stand a chance, right? Yet it's about a perfect stop with a little bit of momentum going in the tractor's favor. It looked like just a little bit of the momentum was going in the tractor's favor in that collision. So that just kind of gives you an idea of how fast or how heavy that tractor is. They were going the same speed, but when they collided, the forces basically negated each other. That's how heavy that tractor is. So another demonstration of this would be doing the same crash but with a normal vehicle. You'll see the tractor will just plow through any normal vehicle. So we'll just grab let's not grab a bolide. We don't need something really fast for this. We need actually a slow car for once. How often do I need a slow car? Almost never. But I do in this situation. So let's just grab a slower bar style, like the 353. It's faster than the slowest one, but it's still pretty slow overall. When you compare it to like the drag one and all the sports cars and all that in the game, it's pretty slow. So again, we're just gonna get this thing about lined up, get the tractor moving too, and just gonna line this up using the one I can actually steer good. So now we're gonna probably be going about double the speed of the tractor here. And you see, we basically are hitting a brick wall when we hit the tractor. We had double the speed, but it's not enough to overcome the massive weight of the tractor. In fact, we're moving in the tractor's favor after the crash. So the tractor basically plowed right through us. And I think the only thing that really slowed down the tractor is just the fact that it hit in such a way where it kind of lifted off the ground and hit the ground and is doing a flip now and all kinds of crazy stuff. Like, that's what slowed the tractor down right here. Otherwise, it probably would have went straight through me. Go ahead and kill the engines off so they're not so loud. And which is the tractor now? I can't even tell, honestly. That one's the tractor. This one's the barstow. Barstow. Ah, we say it wrong. Oh my goodness. I always have to think about it. Like, for some reason, I always say it wrong. I probably said it wrong earlier, too. Oh, well. Anyways, let's just go ahead and move the tractor out of the way and take a look at the damage done to this car. And that is a ton of damage. Like, that's way more damage than you would have had in real life. Yeah, tractors are heavy, but they're not that heavy where they would just obliterate the car like that. And this thing doesn't even have the engine functioning at all. It's totally dead. Like, it's just done. So that just gives you an idea of just how crazy strong this thing is. Another thing we could do just for fun is we could plow it through a brick wall. Like, it'll just go right through the brick wall. We can even use the retaining wall, which is like a heavier duty version of the brick wall, which I usually use for cars, and it should just go right through it, basically. I see no reason it'll even slow down here. We're just gonna go right through it like it's nothing. Watch, just right through it. Oh, it actually stopped it. I am actually surprised. I didn't expect that. I really did not see that coming, though. I thought it would just go right through that, to be honest. Oh, well. Let's go ahead and try something else, then. How about, what if we have a car, we wreck it up, and then we try to pick up the wrecked shell using the claw? I think that'll work, but I want to see if it does. So we're just going to drive this thing around, destroy it, and then grab it with the claw. So the best way to probably destroy it would just be something that hits it on its roof or something. That's what I want. So I don't know if I'll be able to necessarily actually get that outcome, but we'll try. Not on the roof, but we hit it on the side. Does it still operate? We can sort of drive this, so maybe we can get some more damage on it. Well, I did say sort of, didn't I? Because I can't really steer this much. Like, I kind of tell it to go one way, and then it does, and then it stops, and it goes the other way again. So I think at this point you could basically call the car destroyed. I mean, we're not getting very far with it. I'm just going to try to get it out of the suspension test zone so I don't have to deal with that, and then we'll try picking it up. Because if I have to pick it up in the suspension test zone, it just gives another obstacle for the tractor to have to deal with. So we'll just set it like this. Just like that. Should be good. Then we're going to go ahead and bring the tractor over here. We're just going to teleport it because I don't want to try to maneuver around the car and then back and forth and all that. So we'll line the car up as best as I can. Uh-oh. I had to keep momentum to be able to move this thing. It's dead now. All right. Well. Oh, was my parking brake on? Did I have the parking brake on and I didn't notice it? Nope. It's just dead. All right, so now we're going to go ahead and raise this. Open it. Just like that. We're going to back it up. Stop about there. Go ahead and lower it. Maybe back it up a little more. A little less, a little more, a little less, more, less. Less! More? Less? Well, that didn't go according to plan. It's just such a weird shape. It was kind of hard to line it up. We could try to grab it, though, and see if we can at least grab it. There we go. We can at least grab it. That's the nice thing. Even if you miss, most of the time it seems like it'll at least be able to grab the car and pick it up somehow. Like right there. I totally missed where I was aiming for, but we did pick it up, and we could drive it around. No problem doing that. Let's try to do a flip with the car attached. Come on, get to the jump, get to the jump. Got it! Oh no! I didn't see that coming. I really did not see that coming. Well, I think that about covers everything I want to do with the tractor at this point in time. I can't think of anything else I'd want to do with the tractor or the claw, actually. So let's go ahead and just finish this video up by throwing this thing down leap of death. I won't bother with brutal slope because this vehicle really isn't made with how it crashes as the main focus. The focus is how the claw interacts with other vehicles, but I feel like I should at least do this because if I don't, then people will be like, why didn't you do leap of death? Well, fine, here's leap of death then. Alright, just grab the claw tractor and away we sort of go. Ha! We're stuck. Alright, we'll just move it forward a bit. I can't steer at all! We're going this way. And we'll just do this at full speed. Like, I don't think it'll be too interesting, so that's why it's just full speed. You see, it kind of just, when you get the high impacts, it kind of just flattens out. which is kind of what I expected. I didn't expect anything amazing there. So overall, though, fun to play around with the claw, but don't expect the tractor to be really realistic. It's pretty basic in its functionality. And it has quite a few glitches as well. I guess it's worth mentioning. Like the inability to steer. That's a pretty big glitch. Are we done? Alright, I think that's about it. So until next time, this is WhyBeAre. I'll see ya.